Turn down the music, you friggin' basshead!
Hey! I'm finally back with another Half-Life 2 beta content investigation video. After the disaster that was the female Metricon video. If you still don't know why I dislike this video so much now, it's because I unintentionally spread misinformation, as I went with the first assumption I had, and failed to do any more research beyond it. In reality, the voice lines I covered, while they are real, they're actually just the same voice lines as the MC1 sound files, but with an entirely different filter. That being said, this video is much better researched, so I shouldn't have to worry about spreading misinformation again. Now, if you've read the title of this video, you already have an idea of what I'm going to be talking about. In the Sound 10 folder of the leak, there are several different sound effects and voice lines that were done earlier in development. This includes Alex's infamous "Gordon, find my father" line, along with many other test and placeholder recordings. However, there are two folders in this directory that piqued my interest when I started looking further: Music Test and Score Test. That's musical term for score, not the video game one. In the Music Test folder, you'll find an 11 kHz sound file named ambient1.wav, which contains a piece of music that goes completely unused. The Score Test folder, on the other hand, contains 6 different MP3 files of stingers. Most if not all of the Score Test files are corrupted in some way. The first and third files are completely blank, but thankfully the other ones only have their metadata missing or slightly corrupt to the point where converting it into a different format with FFmpeg can fix the corruption. Speaking of metadata, despite the date modified information saying they were last modified on the 21st September 2003, the metadata of the files actually state otherwise. If you open ambient1.wav in Audacity and go to the metadata editor, it will say the file was last edited on the 4th of February 2001, and if you fix the corrupted metadata for the Score 2 and Score 5 files, you'll find that they were last edited on the 11th of May 2002. If you are attentive enough, you may have noticed another bit of metadata high in the image I showed you for the Score Test files, that being the name of who created them. The music and the stingers in these folders were made by Jia-Chin Lee. What's that? You don't know who he is? Well, I'll be honest, I didn't actually know anything about him until a month or two ago. Jia-Chin Lee was a sound designer that worked at Valve in the early 2000s. The Combine Over Wiki says he worked at Valve during 2000-2003. This information was grabbed from his LinkedIn page, but I can't access that because some bastard decided it would be a good idea to include an author wall for what should be public information. I'd also like to point out a claim made by other people about Ambient 1 that I feel is complete misinformation. There's been quite a few people on YouTube claiming that this song was meant to be played during the Cut Air Exchange chapter. However, there is no evidence of this being the case in the leak files, and there's not a single email from anyone who was a part of the development team for the game confirming if this was true. Hell, I even went through every single map for the Air Exchange chapter, and I could not find a single reference for the sound file in any of them. It's safe to say that this song was only ever for a test and was never intended to be used for something in the campaign. Anyways, that's all I've got to say about these files. For the rest of the video, you'll get to listen to the audio files I've talked about here, with some added visuals. Enjoy!